Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Willan on another episode of Through the Scope. In today's video I want us to talk about something small, something that is a bit of controversy in these days, given that the economy has changed and how people work has shifted from being based on one place where you're employed from when you graduate to the day that you retire and you are out of work. These days people prefer a more non-conventional way of working, in which people work either through remote jobs or work through freelance or as independent contractors. So given that this is the new dynamic of working, then it's important to understand how to place yourself, how to situate yourself in a position where you can be discovered, employed, and potentially working on your own terms and determining how much you're paid and such things. So the first thing that you will need to understand is that no one is going to discover you unless you put yourself out there, and no one is going to know how much you're capable of until you decide to show people how much you're capable of. So how, and then this will pose the question of how am I going to position myself in a discoverability place. There are several ways in which we can position ourselves to be discovered in the open market. First of all, we can go about it the conventional way, which then would result in a conventional employment, or if you're lucky enough you can get to be a freelance or an independent contractor for a certain position. But if you want to go about it the new way, and if you want to go about it to get employment our own way, then it would mean that you have to show what you are capable of. You have to display it publicly in a position where people can come, research, see, read through your portfolio, what you've been doing, and how you have accomplished what you have accomplished so far. So by this merit, then it would mean that you have to be online, and that whatever you've done has to be available online in a place where people can see it. So my proposition then would be that you should be on forums. If you're programming, say for example, you have to be on forums such as Stack Overflow. You have to be on GitHub. That one is a must. You have to have your own website where you show your portfolio. You have to be on LinkedIn, where you comment on people's questions, where you respond to ideas, where you post your own ideas, and where you also post maybe your articles and you speak about topics that you relate to. You can also showcase a portfolio of things that you've been doing and also show your services. The other thing would be to join a freelance platform. I generally don't advise this so much these days as I used to back in the day, because a lot has changed and policies for these freelance platforms are not as friendly as they used to be, or maybe I'm not as naive as I used to be back then. Because you see, once you sign up for these platforms, there are restrictions that they put in place for you to work within those platforms and to work within their bounds so that they can make money after all. So you have to find a way to pull through from being dependent on these platforms and to moving into a position where you are selling your own services directly to your own clients. Now this is where having a website comes in. If you have a website that is well structured, well formulated, in such effect such that you can be able to showcase what you can do, have a sales pitch, generate your own leads, and sell your services directly from your own website, then this would mean that you cut off the middleman and you're the one who deals directly with your clients. You can converse with them to agree with your terms. You can sell your services as packages, however you want to structure them and however you want them to be priced at. So once you're done doing this, then you can be able to set up a referral program, because the best thing that is your biggest friend is word of mouth. as much as we don't know it, and as much that it doesn't seem that in this era it works, it still works, just that it doesn't work conventionally, such that that person has to go and tell somebody else that they know. The person that you've done work for can go on onto your website, post a review, which is technically word of mouth, in that people will trust what that person has said. They can also review on such places such as Google. They can review you on your handles. They can leave their comments and see the kind of work that you did for them, which counts as word of mouth. And this is a very big sales pitch when people can see that you had a problem and you delivered, and therefore they can depend on you to be able to handle their tasks and their problems. If you're a virtual assistant, on the other hand, say for example, this is what you want to pursue, and this is where you want to get started, then you would have to go to a place such as Upwork, which is mostly known for having these variable positions where you can have your clients, you can time your sessions, and so on. And being a virtual assistant is not as hard as it seems. It's just planning somebody's day, having to take care of their papers, having to take care of the work for them, and you offload some of the load from their work. So you can generally be working for this person for 3 to 4 hours per day, and you're paid for those hours. And the rest of the day is up to you to do whatever you want to do. So in the digital space, you first of all need visibility, you need credibility, and you need accessibility. You need to be accessible. People need to know that they can always get you through some means. So if you can be able to have a place where people can call you, where people can send you emails and you respond, then definitely you are accessible. So do not be restricted by the merits of a conventional job, or do not be limited by the fact that you do not have a physical job. There are very many jobs out there that you can do without having to go to an office, and it all just comes down to how you market yourself and how much you're willing to put in. Sometimes when you're starting out, you have to agree and accept the fact that you will work for a lower pay than you should. You have to also accept the fact that it will not be as consistent as you want it to be, and sometimes you have to compromise. And this is not a bad thing by any means. It's just how the world is these days. You have to compromise, you have to give so that you can take. And once you grow from being a nobody, no one knows, then the more you can position yourself in terms of leveraging your credibility and leveraging your past works and what is in your portfolio. If you don't have work, does it mean that you can't still grow your portfolio, so to say? If you don't have work, it gives you the opportunity to do your own thing. Like for example, for the developers, the CAD designers, the engineers, even those in the fields of medicine and other fields that have no practical work, for example, that you can do without having to be in a physical position. You can go do your own research, write a small paper. You can be writing papers, say for example, based on other people's research, reviewing, critiquing, and posting these papers on places such as maybe as academia, or on your own website, or a place where people can come and see them and talk about them. By doing this, you are leveraging your free time to create a portfolio that is enough for you to weigh against certain work. So if you're a CAD designer, design a good CAD design, post it on your website. Design another one, post it on your website. Let people see what you can do, because first of all, if people can see what you can do, they can believe that you can do their work. So there are very many ways that you can leverage this. You can also do Instagram, Facebook, you can be posting as much as possible and pushing your content out there. YouTube is also a very good place where you can start growing an audience. You can do a video of you designing even something as small as a cup or a bottle or something that's relevant to someone, post it on YouTube, and people can see how you go about your process. And once somebody comments and says that they need something, push them to your website, have them go there, sign up, do a request for something that they want, you give them a quote, and you sell. So it's all about growing an audience, creating visibility, credibility, and the end result comes back in the same chain again, so that you can be able to cycle through this chain and become an online entrepreneur. So it's that simple. It might have some ropes in it, but if you keep consistently doing it, you will get there. So that's my take on how you can navigate the day's online market, or the new phase of working, where conventional work doesn't count as much as it used to. Nobody wants people sitting in the office the entire day. People want things done, and if you can leverage how fast, quick, and efficiently you can deliver that, then you're in a good place. So that's it for today. You can go out and check out some of my other videos, which I also talk about related matters. And I hope that I see you in the next video. Peace.